And Director, you said a moment ago that you are now putting these teams together who will be able to be responsible for trying to, see different issues, put the pieces together. I think the American people assume that that's happening now. I'm new to the Senate, so I think I have fresh eyes to look at this. I think the American people assume that there are rooms of people around this country working for the federal government in any one of these agencies who are looking at all this data, analyzing it, and making reports and decisions to not let people on planes or come across borders or get visas. Is that correct?
Senator, it is, except at the same time that they were doing that, they also had to write intelligence and sort of analyze these things and send them up to policymakers. The purpose of this is to free them from those requirements so they can focus all of their time with sufficient numbers on these small bits of data, which again, in combination, paint a very damning picture. But when they come in individually surrounded by thousands of other pieces of data, really don't stand up to the analyst.
Director Leiter, after Abdulmutallab was taken off the plane, at some point he was Mirandized. Do you agree that he should be Mirandized and treated in that fashion?
Senator, this is really a question that I have to defer to the Department of Justice. Although trained as a lawyer, exactly who, when...
You're more than trained as a lawyer. Yeah. I think you were the president of the Harvard Law Review and a clerk for a Supreme Court justice, and you're about as accomplished as a lawyer as there is. So.
I'm starting to feel like maybe I should go back to that line of work, Senator. But in all honesty, ultimately the decision of when that should be done or has to be done clearly has to be within the ambit of the Department of Justice and the FBI. I think what is equally clear is the utility of having interagency discussions prior to that to inform that decision. So again, the decision has to be one of the Attorney General, but that should be a decision informed by an interagency discussion considering all of the nation's national security priorities, Homeland Security, intelligence collection, and the like.
And you're the head of counterterrorism for the country. You're an advocate for trying to stop this terrorism before it starts. And certainly I would think in your role, you would want to make sure that someone like Abdulmutallab would be interviewed and you could receive as much information as possible to help you prevent another attack.
Yes.
And when someone is given their Miranda rights, the chance that they're going to give that information seems to be less likely.